So I have a load of Xi'an Terracotta Warrior stuff I have forgotten to upload. Whoops. But Dad is in Beijing currently. So what I'm going to do is just upload the video of just the random exploring we've done today and yesterday. And just essentially just talk through that, talk through everything we've seen. And the Terracotta Warrior stuff will come eventually. So Dad arrived in Beijing and we went to this Christmas market that a friend of mine had recommended. It was full of expats and was absolutely fantastic. They offered mulled wine and an excellent selection of food. The place itself resembled Camden Market, or at least Camden Market back in the day when I was told it was still trendy in Beijing. The food was delicious. After wandering around there and getting our fair share of Malaysian food, German sausage, we were offered mince pies and mulled wine but declined. We went to a museum of the villages. One big part of Beijing is the hutongs, which is the residential area, and we saw the history of them, when it was they were built, various famous people that had come from them, and just saw how they changed over time. It was a fantastically interesting place, what seemed like a dull subject matter. The place discussed things like how the houses themselves had changed over the years. They had pictures of the housing from the 1970s and then had shown how it changed every decade since. We also saw famous people who came from there. You'll notice this sign says this guy was from Hampstead Park, London, or at least there's some picture of him as from there, which I assume is Hampstead Park. Lots of Chinese historical figures. It was very interesting. That night we went out for dinner with one of my friends from the office, Ivy, who was Chinese, spoke essentially fluent English. English probably better than my own. It's interesting having a meal with her and my dad, simply because I was chatting to her afterwards about how strange it was that you would sit down for a dinner with like your friend's parents. Like, I don't know, just it was just interesting hearing how different this was, how different it was from her own culture, that you would just kind of be like, oh, hi, here is my dad. You two will be friends now. Which was interesting. Then afterwards we went to, the day after, me and Dad went to Tiananmen. The thing that I'm going to try and show in these videos is quite how big it is, that the scale is awe-inspiring. This is Mao's mausoleum, where his body is enshrined and where Dad and I will plan on visiting soon. Then you're about to see a flagpole, which we will watch the lowering of that flag later in the day. The Forbidden City in front of us. I saw this massive building to the side of Tiananmen Square. It was closed, as it was a Monday, and as we learned later, everything is closed on a Monday. But it was definitely somewhere I wanted to visit later in the week. Did put the British Museum to shame when it came to size. Again, this is my futile attempt of just trying to show how big everything is. You see in front here, the big obelisk is to the statues, is to soldiers probably. Mao's mausoleum to the left. Everything was just on this massive grand scale, this massive open place with police officers everywhere. I just asked like a random, I just asked like a guy who was like cleaning the street where the toilets were, and he was like, the second floor, it's difficult to find. So he's then taken us to the second floor where the toilets are, and he was right, it was difficult to find. But yeah, friendly Chinese people are friendly. And after a lot of walking, we took a rest in the best way possible. We then went to go watch the lowering of the flag ceremony. This happened at the end of the day. I believe it was meant to be around sunset. Another such ceremony exists in the morning at sunrise, but, well, I decided not to go for that one. We could find the times of this online, precise to the minute, whereby these guys would be walking out the door. I'm told by the Lonely Planet guide that it's performed by a troop of soldiers drilled to march at precisely 108 paces per minute, 75 centimetres per gate. The soldiers emerge through the gate of heavenly peace to goose-step faultlessly across the road as all traffic is halted. It's very impressive to watch. Everything is very much in order, and it seems very safe. The whole place itself is very clean, very preserved. Again, I repeat this, but the size is just, everything is so big. It's just on a scale which is kind of incomprehensible. It definitely presents like a well-oiled machine. It was very impressive to see. And it's a side to China I hadn't seen yet, but it was certainly paralleled very well. And I would say complemented the weirdness, the messiness I see day to day. In that the chaos that was all around me in my daily life was not chaotic. It was rather that I just did not see nor understand the underlying patterns. This was a very clear reminder that those patterns did exist. And then finally, we went out to dinner in some very nice Chinese place where we drank German beer, which was about as expensive as the price of the whole meal. And I was reminded that some things are the same the world over. And finally, as all good days seem to, we ended at the Bookworm. It was a really good day. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And it was nice to be sitting in this vaguely Western place after a very, very strange 2 days. Being in the bar, it was a strange mix of home and not home, but I knew it was something I thoroughly enjoyed.